Okay, in this video, I'm going to show you a couple of tricks on dealing with the lease application process. So the first thing I wanted to show you was a place that you can use to collect all your documents and send it through a shared link rather than having people send you stuff over unsecured email. So if you go into Google Drive with your Gmail account, just click on drive.google.com, and then you click on this button right here that says new. You can create a new folder here, and we'll say that this is the John Doe lease. I always type, maybe just go lease at the front so that you can kind of keep your files straight. And you might even want to put like 2021 or something like that, right? So click create here. And so now I've got this new folder. And so then what I'm going to do next is I'm going to click on this button here that says share. And the share link is going to allow you to share that with somebody else. So maybe I'm just going to practice here and I'll just share this with myself. Sure. And then this is a folder for uploading your lease docs. It'd help if I could type, but I'm trying to type around a microphone, so forgive me on that. Okay, so this is going to share this. It's going to send an email notification to this person by email. So now when they get that, they can actually access the this folder and they can upload all of their documents. So one of the things I'm going to have them fill out is the lease application. So that PDF lease application, I'm going to bring that up here so you can see that real quick. So in this case, I just kind of started typing it out, but this is what the lease application looks like in a fillable format. You can see these are all open fields. Now, once you get the property identified that you're going to apply for, you can type in here, 123 Main Street, Frisco. Let's see, it's hard typing around this microphone, sorry. Right. Okay, and so then what's cool is the way I've got this form set up, you can put in the anticipated move date, you can put in all the good information that you need here, rent, security deposit, how long are they going to lease, if they want to go like 18 months or whatever. But the 123 Main Street is going to fill in on the other sections of the application automatically. So like here, it does it automatically on the top because it's all the same fields. Then on this page, it has it, this next page, it has it at the top of this page. It goes ahead and fills that in. And then on the last page where they have to attest and apply, it fills it in there. So everywhere that you can share information, that it's like the same information, they don't have to keep retyping it over and over again. But I just wanted to kind of share that with you because I've done some things to try to streamline this process, make it a little bit easier. So basically with this application, so they're filling out the information about the property. You don't want them to fill that out when they type this in initially because this needs to be blank because you're going to type that in when you actually have a property address. So once we have that identified, we can say, okay, they want to move in on, August 19th or whatever. They're going to pay $2,700 in rent and their security deposit's going to be $2,700. So we can type that in once we know what property they're applying for. But at the beginning, we just want this to stay editable. You want your information in here because you're the real estate agent that's referring them to the landlord. So that's how you get credit for being on here. Then they need to fill this information out completely. They need to have their social, their driver's license, everything needs to be in here completely. They need to have, they need to have an emergency contact here. That's always required because if something happens to them, they need to be able to contact a next of kin and have them claim their stuff. Anybody else who's going to occupy the property, you're going to list them here. And then if they're over 18, you're also going to have an application like this for them too. So everybody who's 18 or older has to apply. Current address, previous address if they've been living there less than 2 years. And then on page 2, We've got the employer information, and then if they've been there less than 2 years, let's add a previous employer. And then if they have something like child support or whatever, that would be other income that they want considered. List of all of the vehicles that are on the property. They're going to fill that out. Are there going to be any pets on the property? So you have to put the name and the breed and everything. You're going to need to collect all that information because the landlord's going to want to see that. Have they been neutered, declawed? For every pet, we have to answer these questions. And then there are some questions down here about at the bottom about, whether they're not getting renter's insurance, which we always want them to get renter's insurance. And then most landlords require that. But also, have you ever been asked to move out? Have you ever breached a lease? Blah, blah, blah. So these questions all need to get answered on page 2. And then on page 3, if there's anything else that your person wants to consider, any special information, they can put that there. And then here, the applicant's going to submit a non-refundable fee of, I don't know, whatever the landlord says their fee is. Maybe it's $45 to ABC Realty, for example. And then maybe as nothing for a deposit, an application deposit. So then we're going to have them sign here once we have a property address, but we don't have them sign until we actually have a property address. And then this section is for the landlord, so we're going to keep moving past that. And then here on the 4th page, we have where they're submitting their application for this address. And then here's where you put the listing information for the other company that's listing the property. So you'll put ABC Realty, which I've already done for you based on the other thing. And then, 111 Main Street. Right, and you get the point. So if I could type, that'd be great. We'll go with it. So fill out all this information, and then again, the tenant is going to sign here, but only when we've actually got the property address in there. So so that's what we're going to do. So this, what I do is I'm going to save this into that folder, right? So here's what I'm going to do. We're going to go back to our Google Drive. And what I would normally do is I will upload a folder, file for them. So I'm going to say file upload. And I'm going to go grab this file. Hang on one second. Let me go find it real quick. Okay, so here's the file right here. Philip Elise John Doe. And if I know there's going to be other people above 18, then I'll put that in there. Normally I would be putting the blank one in here, but just for, training purposes, I'm going to put the one that I've already kind of played with on my computer. So this is a place where now they'll have access to it. I have access to it, and they can download it. But one thing to tell them is that they don't want to open this and start typing into it on their computer. Because what you can do is you can download it, and then if you go to open it, I have my computer set up to open automatically in Adobe, but if you are not careful about that, it will open up in the browser and you can start typing into it, but you can't save the data. So you want to be very clear not to have them open it in the browser. They need to save it to their local computer and have it open in Adobe Acrobat so that they can type and it'll save everything. Okay. So that's one thing to just kind of note. So let me close this real quick, move this out of the way. Okay. So moving past that, they will be able to upload all their income documentation and everything securely to this folder. Let's say they've uploaded all their bank statements and pay stubs and everything in here in this application. So now we are going to download this to our local computer and say, okay, so we've got this ready. All right. So we download it to our local computer and they've decided they want to apply at 123 Main Street. So let's go ahead. We're going to fill it in all this information now that we know, and then we're going to fill in the information about the landlord here on this page. And then what we're going to do next is we're going to upload that into the zip forms system so that you can do the signing. So we'll go over here and I'm logged into zip forms, right? So I'm Going to click on the tenant's file, and I'm going to click on documents here up at the top. And then I'm going to go add doc, and I'm going to click browse for document. And this file is saved locally on my computer because I've been typing into it. So I'm going to upload this one document right here. Okay. And then click on parties. We should already have them and there's a party, but just so you can make sure they should be in here as a party, because if you've already done the buyer rep agreement, they've already e-signed stuff before. So we've got the documents here. And then now you can see that this fillable lease application that we did is already in here as a PDF. And so we can now click on Esign, and we're going to create a new Esign. And we'll go down there and select that form, click close, and we're going to name this lease application 123 Main. And for this is for the dough. Okay, I just do that so that I can see if the packet expires, if he doesn't sign or whatever, then I'll know. And it won't get mixed up with other files. Okay, click next. Let's click the signers. Now, normally you would be clicking the renter, but in this case, I'm going to click myself just so I can actually go through the process of adding signatures. I'll show you how it works. So you click next, and then it's going to open up the eSign application portal, just like we've seen with the buyer rep agreement, and see all of our stuff is already typed in because we typed all that in. So now all we've got to do is 2 quick signatures. So we're going to do the drag and drop, drag the sign here, right here, sign here, just drag that across. Here's the date, drag that across, and then go here and sign here, drag that across, and date here, and then click next and send invitations. And that's it. That's all you've got to do. So once they go back and they've signed that, you can download that application, and that can be used for submitting to the other agent to send them all the documents that they need for the application. So there you go.